kind of a funny name when you think about loving ourselves. I mean, we're little babies, of course, like, just love is so natural. But like I said, after thousands of years of human conditioning, we just have such a funny relationship with this kind of sense of ego, right? This sound in our head that's telling us we're not worthy and we're bad and, we're hurt and, we just have so much indulging in this kind of self-pity that goes on. Most people don't like to admit it, but the beautiful thing about the course is that it allows everybody to see, like, it's not personal. Everybody goes through the same disapproval programs. But the other thing that Lester discovered is, like, when he let go of all his unloving feelings and he only had love for everyone and everything, the whole world, the harmony of the world opened up for him, and everything was like miraculous how everything would just fall into place. So it love is so important, not the kind of love that's like what we were taught. Human love is what we think love is, but there's a divine love that is this inner power that we have, that we are. And when you know that you are this love, then you're the embodiment of love, and that you just love everyone and everything. Even if it seems to be an unlovable situation, you still have love. Not You're not necessarily approving of what people are doing, but there's just a deep love for the innocence underneath it. And it's really unexplainable how putting love first completely radically changes the whole construct of your life. And it's, on one hand, it's easy said, easy to say it, but it's when you actually do it and you start realizing that people who you maybe previously had like ill will towards, or they showed ill will towards you, it completely dissolves. Everything's gone. And the more you practice it, the more it proves out to you, because whatever you give out is what comes back. And if you're giving out judgments, criticisms, towards others, then it's going to come back to you in some way, right? We all know that, right? We know what karma is. I mean, we know what, wherever the energy goes, that's where the attention flows. So we start to become more attentive, meaning we give more attention to, like, oh yeah, I'm judging this person, or I'm being nice, but I don't really mean it. Right? I'm just being nice because I was told to be nice, or I have a habit of being nice, people pleasing. So all those habits, those patterns, they come up for releasing. Now, you wouldn't think that you would make more money in your life because you were loving, but what happens, and this is what Lester discovered, is that the more loving he was, the more abundance flowed back into his life. And even cases where, I mean, just he has so many examples that he has given us of how love had totally turned everything around for him. And he had all these apartment buildings that he acquired. He wanted to prove that he could be a millionaire. I mean, back in those days, $1 million was a lot of money, right? What $1 billion is today. And he wanted to prove that he could be a millionaire, because he saw, like, in spiritual groups, he was not spiritual at all until he had his, awakening, until he had his experience. But when he was kind of getting to know these spiritual groups, he saw, like, a lot of spiritual groups kind of s- have this belief that, like, money and materialism is just, it's only for the non-spiritual. But he said, no, wait a second, why does it have to be true? He thought, he knew the truth of who he was, and if having money or material things is not necessarily, limited to only certain kinds of people. So he wanted to prove that he could be a millionaire. And he got these apartment buildings in New York City. I think he had like 18 apartment buildings or something like that, where they had like all these tenants. He gave them all away. He gave them to the tenants. And matter of fact, we had a retreat one time where somebody came to a retreat and said he was one of the people that Lester gave the buildings to. And when Larry heard Lester tell this story, he's like, "What? You gave these buildings away?" He's like, "Well, I didn't. I mean, once you know how to have $1 million, I mean, you don't need to hold on to it. You don't need to protect it because you know how to have it. You can have it anytime."